Hey everybody, Brad the Etologist here. In this video I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've been investing in to try to get my sound a little bit better on my YouTube videos. Any watchers to the channel will know that for quite a while I've kind of struggled back and forth with decent sound and then bad sound and decent sound again, and nothing's ever been quite exactly the way I've wanted it though. So I've decided to go ahead and take some steps to try to mitigate this problem. And after having a good long think about the various ways that I could approach this, including on-camera shotgun microphones and the like, I have settled upon this solution. What I'm going to do is use a mixer from now on, I think. And what I did was ordered this Behringer mixer, just a cheapo Xenix 802. This is an 8-channel mixer, but it has 2 XLR inputs for the first 2 channels, which should be plenty for my purposes. And I think these should also have some halfway decent preamps in them. I've used Behringers before and they're okay. I ordered a different mixer before this one from Amazon, and it just wasn't cutting it. It was actually this brand, this Nuwear brand. I think it was Nuwear. Anyway, I will put a link to that one, and you probably should avoid that one for a couple different reasons. One was the none of the pots seemed none of the knobs seemed very secure. They were just really wobbly, and also the LED indicators were kind of funky. Sometimes they acted like they were reading properly on both channels, and then sometimes one channel would drop out, but it would still be there in your ear, but it would just drop out on the LEDs, so something wasn't right. So I sent that one back and just got a Behringer instead. I almost ordered this to begin with and probably should have, but at any rate, stay away from that other one. I'll post you a link to that one, the one to stay away from. But if you want one, this is probably the way to go. I will report back if I have any problems on this, but I don't anticipate any. This one, again, is 8 channels. It's got effects, sends, and returns, which I will not use. But what I'm going to attempt to do here is run a couple different microphones. One of them will be for my voice when I'm demoing amplifiers and such. So I will have a probably a condenser studio microphone over my head, and then another microphone on the speaker. From now on, maybe a condenser, but maybe a directional mic, dynamic mic. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. We might experiment with a couple different things. But what we'll do is we'll actually come out of this mixer and then into this compressor. This is a stereo compressor. This is a Behringer as well, and I got this just really cheap. I wasn't, I'm not looking for the best of the best here. I'm just looking for something that will be passable for YouTube video. So we're not trying to do studio quality recordings necessarily or anything, although I think you probably could get there with these. The real goal here is to get better than what I have had in the past, and pretty much anything is going to be better than what I've had, which has been the onboard microphone on the camera, which is pretty much what you're hearing right now, the onboard microphone on the camera. On loud passages, you would notice sometimes it would get really clamped down, and then it would raise the noise floor on quiet passages. So everything that was quiet would tend to be louder, and everything that was louder would tend to be quiet, and it would be squashed down to the point where, or compressed down to the point where, you weren't really getting much of a sense of dynamics with the amplifiers. When I first started out, I was using just an iPhone 4, which actually worked very well for the audio. And then my iPhone 5, I began using it, and it was either the microphone or the internal processing began to just kind of crap out on that. So I ceased using it because on a couple of my videos, you could tell it was really getting crackly and just really shitty sound. So I have left that behind and moved on to this, which is better, but still it can be improved upon. Here are some of the microphones that I'm going to use. I bought this little thing because I don't expect it to be the greatest mic in the world. But it was really cheap, and it came with a lot of accessories, like a pop filter. It also has like a desk boom, so you can mount this up on your desk, and then you can boom it out, like for, you know, if I'm doing a lot of the stuff where I'm showing the internals of the amplifiers and stuff up on the bench. That might be helpful for some of that. I don't know. We may or may not even use it, but you know, it's just got a few good things that can be used. There's another clamp for desk clamping, a cable, and this cable actually is what you would need to go directly into the device, like the camera I'm using. So that's handy as well. We've also got a shock mount. So, you know, a lot of stuff in addition to the microphone. One thing I'll say about the microphone, I expected it to weigh a little bit more than it does. It doesn't. It just feels kind of cheap and plasticky, which I didn't expect much more than that, but we'll check it out just for the hell of it. But for no more than I paid for it, even without the microphone, the rest of the accessories are worth what I paid. So my thinking was, you know, hell, we'll just try it out. And plus, Amazon has a return policy, which is pretty good. I can just pop it back in the mail and no questions asked, they'll take it back. I also have this microphone. This is a Samson C01 condenser, and believe it or not, I got this out of Guitar Center's dumpster. You heard that right, another Guitar Center dumpster find. You know, you go for a box and you look down in there sometimes and it's like, holy shit, did they just throw this away? So I bring it home and I test it out, and sure enough, it works fine. So I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Excuse my language, but you know, sometimes, man, the world just, it never ceases to amaze me. How anyone could throw something like this in a dumpster and just think, okay, you know, throw it away, send it to the landfill. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I found it, was in a dumpster. I've got a Beta 87 also, which would be good for vocals, if you were, you know, singing vocals, but I don't think it's going to be really good for our purposes for like micing up amplifiers. Some quieter amplifiers it might be good for, and we might try it with that. It is a condenser microphone, so we will need phantom power, which this does have. But I don't know, you know, we probably will never use that on any of my videos, but I do have it lying around just in case. I've got a couple of Shure SM57s, which are kind of the workhorse of live music, and I will probably put one of these on the speakers from now on, I think, in my video clips on my demo portion. I've got a couple of other random microphones as well, just crappy little CADs, and I don't know what this is, a custom something or other. Another Behringer, which, I mean, you know, I don't know. They might be better than the onboard microphone for this camera once again, but I don't expect the world from those. But probably what I will end up doing is doing something like this, like taking the taking the Samson microphone and an SM57 and running in channels 1 and 2 here, and then coming out of this board and then into this compressor unit, and setting the compression where it's not too compressed, but it's compressed enough where, you know, you can hear everything clearly, and then coming out of this and going straight to the camera. What that's going to prevent me from having to do is doing any kind of post editing where I have the video and the audio recorded separately, and then I have to stitch them all together in post. The problem with that is it takes so long to make videos that way. It just becomes kind of prohibitive and not fun, to be honest. And if I had to do videos that way, I'd probably just stop. Just because, I mean, you can make them real flashy and slick and everything like that. But to be quite honest, I don't think a lot of people who watch YouTube really watch YouTube to try to find the flashiest videos. I think they're just trying to find the most informative stuff. So, I don't know. In my mind, it makes very little sense to start breaking everything out in that way and trying to go all professional with it. So what I'm going to do is we'll try some of this stuff out and report back and see how it goes. The next video that I have coming up is a Marshall amplifier, so we'll probably try some of this stuff on that Marshall. But for now, if you guys haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you can see that Marshall video that's coming up, and we will see you then. Well, you gonna go or not?